The Trudeau government wants to pass legislation moving the date of our next federal election. Now, instead of October the 20th, 2025, it would be October 27th or a week later. Some say the reason is that it's by moving the date by 7 days, 80 more MPs would qualify for their pensions at the expense of the Canadian taxpayer. Now, to chat about this in more detail is the federal director of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, Franco Terrazzano, joins us once again from Ottawa. Franco, how much more will this cost the average Canadian taxpayer?
And the pension cost for all of those MPs over the lifetime is about $120 million. And look, it's not likely that all of those 80 MPs are going to lose in the next election, but if even half of those MPs lose the next election, I mean, this change, moving back the election 1 week, will cost taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. Now, the federal government is claiming that they're moving the election back a week because of a religious holiday. But I mean, just ask any Canadian on the street, and I think most Canadians would say, well, then why don't you just have the election a week early? So it really looks like the government is moving the election back by a week so more MPs can take that generous taxpayer-funded pension. And hey, look, if politicians don't want to look shady, then they should stop doing shady stuff like this.
So, Franco, we ran the numbers. It would be 32 Conservative MPs, followed by 22 Liberal MPs, 20 from the Bloc, and 6 NDP MPs. MPs qualify for a pension after about 6 years of service. So how much of a pension are we talking about per person here?
Well, okay, so the starting annual pension ranges between $32,000 a year and $49,000 a year. Now, that just depends on what roles they had as they're being an MP. But let me just illustrate how lucrative these taxpayer-funded pensions are. So an MP could serve for just 6 years and then get a lifetime pension of more than $2 million.
Now, your group, the CTF, is calling for reforms to the MP pension plan, which includes ending severance and the transition allowance. Now, you're also calling for the MP pay raise to be nixed on April the 1st. Now, Franco, do you think this will just fall on deaf ears?
Well, we're going to keep banging the drum. We're going to keep up the pressure because especially that April 1 pay raise, like how tone deaf could these members of parliament be? Because on the very same day that they raise our taxes, they're also going to be stuffing more money into their pockets, right? Canadians are going to be paying a higher carbon tax on April 1, and members of parliament are going to be giving themselves another pay raise. Completely tone deaf.
Thanks so much for your time today, Franco. That was Franco Terrazzano, Federal Director of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, joining us from Ottawa.